You are listening to the Enlightenment Evolution Network. Welcome to Earth Sky People Radio. Living in harmony with Mother Earth and awakening to an intergalactic society. With your host, Victoria Vives, founder of Reiki Wellbeing and co-founder of the Earth Sky People Movement. Any opinions expressed in Earth Sky People Radio do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Enlightenment Evolution Network. Any opinions expressed by Earth Sky People Radio's guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of Earth Sky People Radio. Hello, this is Earth Sky People Radio with your host, your friend, and your soul family, Victoria Vives Khuong. You can find me at victoriavives.com. Today is Saturday, July 24th, 2015. Actually, it's 25th. And we are together in Earth Sky People Radio. Earth representing our connection with Mother Earth and nature. And Sky representing spirituality and life beyond the Earth. Extraterrestrial life, extra-dimensional, always living in that perfect balance between heaven and earth. Last week, we had a very inspiring video and radio episode with Sharon Slush. She was sharing about escaping the 9-to-5 trap. And if you are wanting to break free from your job and start giving your energy to your true purpose, you can very much be inspired by this conversation we had. So you can check that in the archives. And that is victoriavives.com/radio. And today we have a celebration. Yes. Today it is Earth Sky People Radio's 1-year anniversary. This is amazing. I'm so excited to have been, have the pleasure, the honor to be with you here every single week for a year. And I'm so excited to continue. I will take a little vacation, so I'm thinking on August, maybe I will share some of the things that have not been in the show, but I'm sure you will enjoy. So those will be some replays of other shows from other channels. And, just to stay updated, you can once again go to victoriavives.com/radio. And to celebrate this very, very special day in Earth Sky People Radio's history, we have with us somebody very special, of course. He has been in the show twice, channeling Thread and Aridiff. But today, he will be offering something for the very, very first time. This is going to be an interview with Archangel Metatron. So you may already know who he is, and if you don't know, he is Rob Gauthier. Hey, Rob, are you there? How are you doing today? Cannot hear you. Okay, well, while he's arriving here, hello, can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Rob, how are you doing?
I am doing great. I am so happy to be here with you again today, and so proud and honored to be a part of your 1-year celebration.
Oh, thank you. And for those who may not be familiar with our network, this is the Enlightenment Evolution Network, and Rob is the founder of this network. So that means that this is very special for me too. So thank you, Rob.
Oh, thank you for being a part of this network. When me and Kalina had brought up the concept of this network, we envisioned having some great spiritual, loving, heart-centered people, and you embody that to the T. Your show, your energy, your love. We're so happy to have you on, and we're so proud of your 1-year anniversary.
Oh, thank you so much. And please say hi to Kalina. I know she's listening, so I want to just say hi. Hi, Kalina.
Waving back
Okay.
at you.
And if she wants to say something today, just let me know for sure. Okay. And I want to just share your website, which is etwhisperer.com. And I love that name, etwhisperer.com. Wow, that sounds so beautiful. How did you come up with that name?
Well, it's actually funny. Me and Kalina were sitting and talking, and we were talking about the website with her mom, and someone had mentioned something about whisper, and then me and Kalina were talking, and one of us, I can't remember which one, but one of us said maybe we should go with like alien whisper or something, and then the other one said ET
Oh.
whisper, and we both looked at each other and said, boom, that's it. So that night, within 10 minutes, we went and bought the URL for it, and the
Oh.
rest is history.
So beautiful because when I first knew about you, you mostly were focusing on Trevor Nietzsche, but um, later you have expanded and you started channeling Iris, and now Archangel Metatron. So for sure, is something more. So it makes sense. E.T. Whisper. It does make sense. I really love that name for your website. I love it.
Oh, thank you. And it's funny because it's the last 2 years, like you said, it was mostly my connection with Treb, and he had the same kind of connection I have with him he had with Ardith, and Ardith finally came in more closely. But in the last 2 years, channeling for people, I probably channeled over 100 different ET consciousnesses from people who had
Wow.
connections to their oversouls or
Oh my
galactic
goodness.
family or hybrid children. Yeah, it's been amazing.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. I knew you did some other channelings, but I didn't know that are so many different soul families, star families. That's amazing. Very, very cool. And what is the
Yeah.
difference for yes? And what is the difference? I sounded like Trevor right now. Yes. I love Trevor. He's so cute and sweet and powerful and everything. Okay. So I wanted to know what is the difference for you between channeling each of them? I don't know. What do you feel different? Do you enjoy more one than another, or is depending how you feel that one of them comes true?
Well, honestly, when I'm channeling, I'm not conscious. I'm always in a deep trance state. Like, and when I am, I'm hanging out with Treb. We were doing
Mm.
an event in Asheville, and the guy who was filming it for his TV show, Ruben Langdon, said, "Oh, so you've gone fishing with Treb?" So that's kind of like my way to explain it. Whenever I'm channeling Treb, Ardip, or another ET consciousness, I'm hanging out with Treb. So Treb's like the operator. The
Oh.
only entity besides Treb that I connect to directly is Ardip, and then now Metatron. So when I'm connecting to Metatron, it's a different experience altogether. So
Mm.
it's very different, but when I hear it back, I feel those energies very, very potently, and I can feel the difference in each entity that's
Mm.
channeled and each entity that Treb connects to in those moments.
Wow, amazing. And just in case somebody is not familiar with your work, I'm going to just mention that Trevor Yitne is the benevolent reptilian, Aridif is an ancient Pleiadian being, and Metatron is an archangel. And you mentioned that Trevor Yitne is related to Aridif in the sense that Aridif is kind of the guide maybe for Treb.
Yeah, yeah, he described it as however my connection is to Treb, Treb's is to his. So in that sense, it's like a guide, maybe a future version or a probable
Mm.
future of that energy. And linearly speaking, it's when you're talking about time and connection like that, it's very difficult to explain because we experience it in such a different way than it really exists. But for the most part,
Mm.
you have so many different probable futures or probable past, and when you're energetically connecting. It's just kind of like dots connecting in a sea of dots, and myself and Treb connected, and him and Treb connected, Ardip and Treb. So all three of us are now connected in one line, and it's a beautiful
Oh,
energy in
wow.
the way it's experienced.
Wow. And, I was wondering if Metatron is like the next connection for Additive. And this is something actually that I want to ask Metatron a little bit, his relationship with Trev and Additive, if any. But how you feel? Maybe that would be the case, that maybe Metatron is guiding Additive?
I'm not sure the way. This is all fairly new. I have this connection with Ardip that's connecting for the first, or not Ardip, but with Metatron that's connecting the first time just less than a year ago. And when I felt the presence, it was so overwhelming. And I was very hesitant because of my background being raised as a Christian. The whole Archangel thing was kind of a little
Wow.
weird to me. But as I connect now, I don't know how much it's connected to Treb and Ardip. I think that this connection is a different, branches out in a different connection of mine. But in essence, all of us are connected in one way or another. So it's interesting for me to really hear about how that connects.
Oh, nice. Well, so that will be for sure one of the questions I will ask today, and we will all find out.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I would like now, I normally don't do this, but I'm going to just take a couple of minutes for us to listen to something. One moment.
Hello everyone, this is Rob Gauthier, the ET Whisperer, channel of Ardip the Angel Pleiadian, Treb the Benevolent Reptilian, Metatron the Archangel, and the Nihal Collective. How do we awaken ourselves from within? How do we expand ourselves from within? How do we answer all the big questions in life? Believe it or not, we have all of the answers within each and every one of us. If you like channeling, you will love the Channel Panel 2 Awakening from Within. This is hands down the biggest all-channeler event ever. Online and live event in Los Angeles. We will be streaming on the internet for those of you who cannot be in LA, and we will be there live for all of you who can make it to the holiday in LAX. We're going to be learning how to look into deeper sense of self, exploring your extraterrestrial heritage, sacred science, sacred geometry, building bridges to higher self, self-guidance tools, connecting to spirit in any and all forms, understanding the true nature of reality and how to create your own reality through thought. This will be some of the most cutting-edge information, and all 8 of these channelers are going to be there with a great transmission. Day 1, we have Wendy Kennedy of the 9th Pleiadian Collective. We have Lee Harris from Lee Harris Energy, channeling the Z's. We have Sean Swanson, who will be channeling Aishwa of the Yael. We will have myself, Rob Gauthier, channeling Ardip the Ancient Pleiadian. Day 2, we will have Shelley Young of Trinity Esoterics, channeling Archangel Gabriel. We will also have Nora Harold, who will be channeling the Pleiadian Collective, Yeshua, and Kaliandra. We have Brad Johnson, who will be channeling Adronis the Syrian. And we will have Daniel Scranton, who channels the Creators. Hosting both days in the event will be Kalina Angel from the Earth Experience radio show and the Expansion Point TV show. Live tickets are already on sale. We have 300 seats each day, September 19th and 20th if you're in the LA region or you want to visit the LA region. If not, all around the world, you can watch us from your living room by buying live tickets. If you're interested, the link will be displayed clearly for all to see. Hope we see you there. Love you guys.
Wow. That sounds so amazing.
Oh, thank you. And
Oh my goodness.
I had that as a video, so the link wasn't very clear to see over the radio, and I
Oh.
forgot to change that part. But
Oh,
thank you for
goodness.
playing that, and people who are interested can go to etwhisper.com, go to the events tab, and go to upcoming live events. So it'll be amazing. Thank you for playing that.
Of course, I would love to join both days, and I will do my best. Weekends are very busy for me, but I mean, that sounds like an amazing opportunity to really raise our frequency and be with amazing people and have fun and everything. It sounds great.
Yeah, it's when I was talking to Lee Harris on my own radio show, he channeled Disease for us, which is a collective, and they had talked about how during an event like that, where you have so many people who are passionate about conscious expansion, plus all of the channelers, plus all the channeled entities, that will be a huge, huge energetic vortex in that area for that time. So
Oh,
that's going to be
wow.
amazing.
Yeah, thank you for making it happen in Los Angeles. I like a good vortex here, so
Yeah,
awesome.
Kalina fought hard for the LA area because she's from there originally, or not from there originally, but
Oh,
spent 10 years there up until the last 2 years. So she
mm.
loves that area. It's her second home, and she really, really loves that place. So I've never been to California, so I cannot wait.
Wow. Wow, exciting. Awesome. We will meet for sure. We have to make it happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. And I wanted to ask you. I have been with you when you were channeling Treb in the first show that you were doing with me, and then the second time Aridif. And I know a little bit how the process goes with them when you want to tune into their energy. So I was wondering, what is the process for you to bring through Metatron? Is the same that, like you do this beautiful chanting with Aridis and Treb, or is something different?
Actually, it's a little different than the Treb and Ardif connection. With Treb and Ardif, I neutralize for a couple minutes, and then I would ohm and chant until the vibration comes in. But with Metatron, it's different. I still take a couple minutes to neutralize my energy out a little bit, and then afterwards, I just do a deep breathing exercise. The connection process feels and all the little mechanisms that I use are different. Like Treb and Ardif, it's a multi-step process in my head, so I won't go through it all. But there's breathing techniques, visualization techniques, color breathing techniques that I use while I'm breathing. But with Metatron, it's basically just shutting my mind down as much as I can and then taking in breaths and focusing in on the, not the cube, but the, I can't even remember what it's called. This is how little I know about the geometry, sacred geometry, but it's the flower of life pattern. And I close my eyes and I breathe and I visualize on that, and then boom, it comes right in.
Wow, I'm so excited to meet with Metatron. Yes.
Oh, me too.
So, how you feel? Do you think we should get started with that process?
Absolutely.
And
if possible, maybe I take 1 or 2 minutes just to neutralize for a minute, and then I can start my connection process.
Of course. Let's do that. So, while you can just go do your thing, should I mute you or leave you on?
I can mute myself for the moment and just kind of breathe and take that in, and then when I'm done with that, I'll let you know when I'm ready to start connecting.
Okay, great. So we're going to leave Rob for a little bit, just a tiny, tiny bit, and then he will come back with company, with Metatron. So for those listening, we're going to have a couple of questions. I'm going to open the line for a couple of questions. So if you have any questions, and I see that some of you already are marked as having a question, make sure to call in. So that would be, the phone number is 347-308-8788. Once again, 347-308-8788. And then just press 1 so that I know that you have a question. And there is already people waiting for asking a question, and we will do that at the end of the show. So those who have been there waiting the longer will be most likely the ones that will be chosen. Okay. Also, we have a chat room. So if you are logged in the chat room, you can also ask a question through there. So we will do as much as possible. The show will go for about an hour, and then I will be teaching. So I'm going to share about the events that I have in Los Angeles today and tomorrow. So if you are in Los Angeles, you can join us in person today at 1 p.m. for our shamanic workshop. And this will be from 1 to 7. We will be having a potluck, creating community, learning how to journey, how to do healing, divination, many other things. So you can see all the information at reikiwellbeing.org. And then tomorrow we start a new course of Crystal Healer Certification. So that will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. And you can check the information in the same website. And also you can take that course online, actually. And that will be crystalhealer.org. And then that same day, tomorrow evening, we have Psychic Reader Certification. And we will be working on reading auras. So this is a lot of fun, and it is also very helpful when we want to develop a new career, perhaps, and help other people, help ourselves, learn more about what is unseen. This is going to really help, and also connecting with people that has things that you can relate to. Sometimes it is not easy to connect with people that we can talk about these things. You know, I know some of my students come and say, wow, I cannot talk about this in my work, because people is like, wow, I don't believe in that. But little by little, we are transforming the world thanks to people like Rob and like you. I'm sure that you are bringing also your special contribution to our world's transformation. So I thank you for that. Okay, so I'm going to be silent for a little bit in case Rob is ready. So Rob, if you're ready, just let me know. Otherwise, I will just continue chatting here.
Yeah, I'm ready. My headphones fell off, so I'm getting them back. There we go. I am ready whenever you are.
I am totally ready and excited about this, so let's get started.
All right, I'm going to take a little sip of water, and we'll go ahead and get started.
Sounds great.
Thanks again, Victoria, and thank you guys all for tuning in, too.
Thank you.
Greetings and salutations. We wish to share with all of you what it is to be within the center. Love, expressions of your heart, and your expressions of pure joy of being who you are what it is to be within the center. Knowing the name Metatron knows that you understand one part, one centralized portion of being in the center. You have heard names throughout the times as Enoch, El Shaddai, Khuong, and Metatron, knowing evolution of our own consciousness and moving towards the center. Before the questions come, we want to share one thing. We understand that many of you who listen to channeled material come into your own hearts with joy and excitement. Some of you who have done this have come from a different purpose. Some of you have come to find answers for all of your woes. Some of you have come to distract yourself with what heritage of extraterrestrial nature you are, or where your hybrid children are. Now, we are not saying that these ideas are necessarily a negative thing. What we are saying is that if you have used these for distractions instead of incitements and joy, they are not pulling you towards the center. What is it to be within the center? The center is the most middle point of energy where one can come from. It is the centralized place where all things are of equal value. It is the most neutral energy where one can hang their hat. And where you hang your hat is where your home is. This is an expression so many of you have heard and have felt throughout your life. We come into this consciousness collective at this time in order to share our own perception and teachings of how you may hang your hat in the center. Anywhere else that hangs your hat can be of use to you. Many of you have brought forward your own learnings of teachings that were not in the center, but it helped you go more towards the center. Many of you have learned things that just in a small portion of time no longer resonate with you. They helped bring you towards the center, but now you have left it behind you. You have seen the value of what the information brought to your heart and to your mind, but the value of daily life no longer exists to you, so you move forward towards the center, leaving what no longer works behind you. We have shared so frequently of what we desire to share with humanity. The centralized energy in consciousness, the centralized energy in creator consciousness has all brought a new perspective for some of you who have either made it close to the center or who have come from such a far distance it feels as if you are in the center. When you are in the center, there is no resistance. There is no possibility of resistance because you are in an energy that is free-flowing and free of heartache and pain. When that heartache and pain are removed, you find yourself free to do whatever it is that once you thought wasn't acceptable or feasible to do. So many of you have created on so many levels manifestations that were unlike anything you were able to achieve before, because you are moving closer to the center, because you have let your resistance behind you. But some of you find in this newer age, this newer level of manifestation that all of you are trying to achieve, there are bumps in the road. Why are those bumps in your road? Why are there resistances in every step you've taken forward? It is because you have come to a place that is so close to the center, believing that you are in the center, you have stopped pushing yourself forward. You have let all of these bumps in the road define what your center is. It has literally stopped you in your path. Removing those last bumps before getting to the center will show you the easiest route. What can you do as a person, as a human in this earth consciousness to help you walk closer to the center? There are many things that are so easy, but the perceptions that some of you have had have shaken your ability to see What is easy and what is hard? Many of you define hardships by difficulty. Some of you define easiness as lack of things that come up against you or butt up against you. What we see is that staying in the center can be effortless, but getting into the center takes work. So many of you say, this is my excitement. I cannot move forward with it because there is no way where I'm able to manifest the right things at the right time, even though you have manifested so much before. What is the last few steps? In our working with you, that is what we hope to share, how to make those last steps, how to know that you are not fooling yourself, that you are already in the center, when clearly resistance comes to you and you are not. This is what our entire reason for being here in this time through Rob in this moment is about sharing the last steps of centralizing yourself into the easiest resistance-free environment that one in your environment can have. And it is the same as all of the beings that you perceive as Archangel consciousnesses are easily and readily in the center, willing to reach out and help, each pulling you in using your own muscles. We will give you the hand, but we can't pull you there. We can only guide you if you decide to join us in the center. We know that there are many questions that so many of you have had in your minds and hearts, but before asking all of the questions to either us or to yourself, remind yourself, is this question that I desire to have answered bringing me towards the center? If it is not that it is not an important question, but it is one that your journey will see as less useful to you. When you bring and attract questions and hardships that bring you towards the center, that is the questions and energy that pulls you into a place where you no longer will need your questions asked, where you no longer will need others to guide you. You will be able to guide yourself. Enlightenment of a human is a term that so many of you have used, and so many of you have used lightly. What is enlightenment? What is an embodiment of energy that is resistant-free? We tell you that when you experience questions where your heart aches without the answer, then you have not found the right questions. Finding questions that come with great joy, those are the questions that bring you closer to the center. Thank you for having us join you.
Thank you so much, Metatron. It is an honor to have you here with us. Thank you for your dedication to helping us and guiding us. And yes, we have many questions. And then the listeners will also be calling with questions. So the first thing I would like to ask to you is, who are you? Did you have a past time where you were out of that center and you had a different experience of life?
Yes, quite readily we are willing to share that part of our own journey. We were human. Now, when you are speaking to me, you are speaking to one portion of a greater energy. You are speaking to one part of consciousness that most call masters, ascended beings, archangels. One part of that energy is brought forward today to reminisce with you about our past. We experienced being human in the very beginning of human time through your Adam and Eve storylines that you have been told since childhood. We appeared on the earth soon afterwards. We incarnated several times into your earth system. At one point, we were incarnated as a being that you call Enoch. Enoch was an entity in your biblical terms who experienced connection to God, speaking to God, speaking to the angels. Now, there are so many terms that are used to describe angels and God. Let us clear a few of those myths so that the story may make more sense. When we speak of God, what are we speaking of? We are speaking of all things within this universe, all energies that are in this universe. Back when we were human, we didn't see it this way. What we saw God was an external being who would help us and guide us through each moment of each day. And there are so many who can help you, but the first person to help you must be yourself. Once I was able to see that, then the communication with the angels came. What are angels? Angels, in terms that many of you have learned, are higher dimensional beings. Now, so many of you have different words and different definitions of what dimensions are, but in the top layer of universal consciousness, there exists a realm in which all things are connected to source energy. All things are connected to God. That is what the angels are. And in this planet, there resides many angels. Those angels' responsibilities are to connect to all things below itself and help them find their way to the center. We exist in a plane where all things are connected to Creator. The ground that we walk on, the trees that grow fruit, all of those things are directly connected to Source. Our environment is co-created with all of the angel or archangel beings connected out into one environment, touching the face of God, touching the universal knowledge. And we bring that knowledge into ourselves and distribute it back to all things that desire and require. And as a human, I reach to my angel. And through the reaching to my own angel, I was able to find a way to bring my own human consciousness into an ascended state. Spending several hundred years as a master or ascended master, I was able to then project my own consciousness into the archangel realm. I was taken by entities or beings that you call Elohim. These are the first beings who made contact after my angel connection. And during the time that these beings connected to me, there was so much information exchanged. I was able to bring knowledge and help these beings. Later they came to your planet and assisted you in some ways, but also detoured you in many ways. After that, my own connection with them was broken. They did no longer require finding a way to their center, but only helping people away from theirs. And at that point, there was no need for communication. So seeing my own evolution, you understand I was human at one point. Then I was a master or ascended master. And I don't necessarily care for that term, as it doesn't really embrace or encompass all of the energies that I felt and that I experienced. But during that time, it's the closest thing that you have as a definition. So I ascend into the realm. Some call 12th dimension, some call 12th matrix. Those things, as exciting and fun as they are less essential than the energies that I felt, the energies I was able to embrace. And after embracing that energy, I was able to then join the experience of the archangel realm. Now, archangel, even yet a term, still not resonant to myself. It is not an archangel. It is not truly an angel. That word on the planet of Earth has so many negative associations or godly and separate definitions. So what we'll say is that we are the ones who touch God, and we are the ones who touch man.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing this very profound information.
You're welcome.
So then, if I understand correctly, perhaps each of us, it is a point of consciousness, and we have something similar to our own ray of light from source, like from the sun or source. And when we are out of that ray that is in our center, we may get distracted, but if we come back to that center of our ray of light, we may ascend like in an elevator perhaps and reach different levels like level 2, level 3, level 4, up to Archangel. So would this be correct, and would any of us have that possibility in our lives or in, well, our future lives, future experiences if we continue our evolution?
This is correct and incorrect, all in the same breath. When you see archangel consciousnesses, it's not something that you strive for. It's not something that you work for or evolve to. It's something that you simply are. When I experienced the transformation, it was because the transformation ability was within me already. My journey to the earth was a separate part. Understand that the realm of God, or the realm of all that is, source energy, is a realm that distributes itself down. And once it distributes itself in levels below, reconnecting to all the little parts that are sprinkled downward, that is what brings you upward. And it's not a direct ascension in that way. At the level of consciousness that you are right now, you are able to put pieces of consciousness together and to ascend to a higher level. And you can do this all the way until you are no longer physical in this reality. But in the levels where we are from, the connections are felt through the combination and culmination of all of the smaller parts coming together. So I worked in my own essence to ascend to a non-physical level in your reality. Once I was there, the integration was purposeful. It was divine in essence. It was something that was planned already for so many eons before the culmination of the moment was experienced through my own gathering of the rest of the sprinkles, the rest of the parts that fell. When I connected back to all of those separate parts, that is where I experienced the culmination and coming together of the one. And when I experienced that, I experienced the full version of Metatron. It is not something you will work for, evolve to. It is something that you bring to yourself after ascending past a physical level in your desire and experiencing being in the center.
Okay, wow. And you mentioned about Enoch, and something that I heard about Enoch is a theory. There is a teacher that shares that Enoch was actually connecting with extraterrestrial beings. So these were the gods, but not the big God as source. And would that be correct?
Yes, this was the Elohim that we talked about. These are the beings who came and directly connected. They were connecting to our people long before the energy was there. And in my own conscious knowing, feeling through intuition, through my own telepathy, I was able to feel them and experience them. After experiencing them, and activated something in me. After that activation occurred, I began pulling myself towards the center. Once pulling myself into the center occurred, I was able to then understand the fullness of myself, ascend into a master realm. Once that occurred, they chose me to communicate with. They seen the energy of myself. They seen how I was connected to myself and to all things. When they did, I was able to extract information. Now, we are fighting for terms here. Some of you understand integration from higher self. I was not needing to pull in from my higher self because I was my higher self. I experienced the fullness of my higher self, so extracting information from there, we exchanged information. Most humans thought that the Elohim were the one God or the multiple gods. I understood them to be what they were. They helped me with understanding certain energies. They helped me with understanding mathematics and geometry. I helped them with learning something that they desired beyond all, the learning of what the human experience was. They seen all of the energies and manipulations of humans beforehand and wanted to understand the being of humans, the psyche of humans, and I integrated this knowledge with them. They integrated higher understandings of geometry, math, building technology, and we co-created that experience together.
Wow. And what is your relationship with other archangels like Archangel Michael or Archangel Gabriel? Do you work together in some areas?
The work that we've had with humans was very vast. Many humans get to a point where they were able to ascend their energy and fully be their higher self. And once they achieved this, they were able to communicate with us. During that communication, we shared energy with them. And each of us have done this individually, and each of us have done this collectively. And there are several archangels that mankind know about, that have directly interacted with, but there are many that are lost in your transcriptions, and there are many that are lost because they were never written down. And all of those energies and all of those things were lost to mankind, but each of you have access to that. When you find your center, when you collect all of the parts that are you, you are able to build that connection to each one of us, individually or in groups. I myself have worked with Gabriel. I have myself worked with Michael. I myself have worked with Uriel. And all of us have co-created a better experience for humanity. In Sumeria, this is a different point. This is the beginning of mankind's manipulation. Our connections with humanity were during that time, but slightly after the Adam and Eve of the Bible. This is where we directly started working. Before this, mankind wasn't the same mankind that you know of today. There have been so many changes in your DNA, and most humans wonder why their emotions are so violently shifting and why their minds cannot settle on one thing. Well, look at the physical changes that were forced upon you as a race. This makes easier understanding towards the center of being, to let go of some of those energies that were forced on you and start feeling the real you.
Wow. Well, this is so interesting, and I would love to be here for 2 hours. I see that it's almost 11, and we have so many questions. So another question that I have to ask, because I already said I would, is what is your relationship with Treb, with Arides, and with Rob?
Rob himself is working towards going into the center now, in means of what it is to be in the center. He's still not in the center, nor are most humans. There are less than 12 humans in your planet right now that are fully stepping into the last steps of the center. Rob is working towards the center. He has opened conduit to receive information. This allows us to connect, but my relationship to him is the same as all of your relationship to me are. I am one part of this earth consciousness that is available to connect and assist. And in Rob's heart and mind, he desires nothing more than to help others gain their own spiritual footholdings, their own happiness, their own living in the center. It was perfect for us to connect in his lives as human, which are numerous. He was connected to the being I once was. Enoch, as a human incarnate, Rob was very close to Enoch in his past. There is an understanding, a relevance, and a relationship predating this. Now, Treb and Ardiv, as much as they are loved, as much as they are helping many get to the center, they are not connected to us. We are exclusively connecting to Earth consciousness. This is the realm that we are. If you look at levels of consciousness, we inhabit the Earth in our dimension. We inhabit the Earth in our matrix. There are different beings to connect to different entities of different planets out there. So we are the ones that connect to Earth, and Treb and Ardiv are very much appreciated and loved by us, but are not connected to us.
Wow, very interesting. That's a great distinction. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you also for sharing your own desire to speak and to bring yourself towards the center.
And I'm going to just ask some questions from our listeners, and somebody is asking in the chat room, what would be basic daily habits to be centered?
Being yourself, being resistant, free, understanding what your life is, what you desire. Now we understand there are distinctions between what most of you hear through channel material to what we would express being in the center is. Most beings tell you to live in the center, you be who you are, but they don't account for what you are forcing yourself to be. They don't account for what some expect you to be. There's many that have said, if your desire is to throw a fit and to scream and to destroy things in your area, that is acceptable because it is who you are and that is your passion, and we understand why they would say this. But being destructive, being passionate about anger and disconnection does not bring you to the center. What brings you to the center is nothing more than understanding the true you, living in the moments of your life that most encompass what you desire to be. Now, most of you come trying to move towards the center with forcing yourself to do things. There are people who would force themselves to smile each day or to be polite to others. And if it's feeling forced, then it's not a true energy. But in the same breath, when you are walking towards, if there is a reason to be angry, it means that you are not aligned with a true self. That is only the true ego self of yourself. And when you are working towards the center, you are throwing your ego to the side. You are living in the true consciousness that is your higher self. You are living in a state of understanding and acceptance. The number one thing that prevents all of you from being directly in the center is just
I'm not sure if there is a problem with sound, but I was just sharing that. Thank you so much for that answer, and thank you for the person who asked as well. So I think now you can hear me again, right?
yes,
okay.
we are able to hear.
Thank you so much. So we're going to invite a couple of callers, and right now I see here the area code 951. So 951, please be ready. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, 951. Okay, well, so we will try 408. Once again, 408, please be ready.
Hi.
Hello?
Can you hear
Yes,
me?
hi, how are you? Yes, I can hear you perfectly. What's
Hi,
your
I'm
name?
doing well. My name's Anthony.
Hi, Anthony. So what is your question for Metatron?
I guess my top question would be, how to go through more of the challenges in life with more of like a lighter look. Like things that, like in a sense, like achieving the things that you want, but looking at them in a way that can get you to actually make it come to you. I'll put it that way.
Well, this will depend what your challenges are. When you're looking at a challenge, what is the challenge? What do you consider being hard about this? Each question will individually be suited for each energy. What are your hardships?
Physically acting on the things I know I want to do.
What prevents you from acting?
I think the main thing would be the lack of doubt in it actually being possible to happen, even though I know it can.
And there you have answered your own question very well. When you are perceiving the hardships, you are creating those. So what is the bypass? How is a better way to look at that hardship, at that standing between you and the energy that you desire to be? When you are looking at things, you're seeing hardships because you have placed yourself in your past. You have looked at your past and said, every time I've tried to do this, I no longer am able to find a pathway to easement, to ease myself, to ease the energy of creating. So what is the easiest way around to disconnect yourself from all of those experiences? When you're living in the center, you're living in the moment. There is no other moment but the moment you're in. So how creating this moment is different than others is quite easy. The psychology of yourself in those moments fears. Fear is something that prevents all people from going into the center. What is there to fear? If you step in to whatever experience that you desire without fear, then there is nothing that can happen that will be bad, that will be negative. If you try and it doesn't work without fear, you are stepping closer to the center. You are stepping closer to your desired effect. So why is the fear there in the first place? It's because you have always associated your stepping into that moment with some time that you've stepped and misplaced your foot. Keep moving forward. Step in each moment without fear. All of those things that you've experienced that are hard are only hard because of the way you look at them. So if your real answer to the question is, why am I fearing this? This is your real question, and why are you fearing it? It's because of your not believing in the full nature of what you are. You are a physical being who's incarnated on the earth plane, on the earth experience only, because you wish to experience all of the things that you have. So in stepping in, understanding the worst penalty in your eyes for any step is death, knowing that death is not the final end, knowing that death doesn't stop you, then what else is there to fear? The fear of failure is something that all of you feel, but even if you fail, it does not matter. Stepping in the moment, knowing that you are excited to move forward, that's the only condition that you have in stepping forward. Release that. Release yourself from the judgment of perhaps failing. Release yourself from that fear, and you will step forward into the center.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you also, Anthony, for calling, and thank you, of course, Metatron.
Thank you also.
Okay, so we're going to go to the next question, and this is going to be the last question today because it's already 11. So I'm going to talk with area code 714. So 714, please be ready. Hello, are you there? Hello, 714, are you there? Okay, well, so nobody there, and let's see, area code 951. 951, are you there? Hello, 951? Okay, well, maybe it is meant to be that I will
Hello?
ask. Oh, yes, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good. What is your name?
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel, beautiful name. So what is your question for Metatron?
I'm over here in the high desert now, and there's not a lot of people here, and there's not a lot of opportunity in there. It gets really hot, and I'm looking for a move, but my car isn't running, and I don't have the financing. Do you see a move or a new car or a new job coming in soon?
The question that we have for you is, do you see it? If you have
Yes,
a
I
doubt.
do. Yes, I do. I see it. Yeah, I wanted to see what you saw, but
If your doubt is there, it prevents you from moving forward in that. And we understand that the desire to see what is forward is so prevalent in you. What we can suggest in our own version of stepping into the center is when you see a move in your future, you desire a move in your future, start doing all of the things that you can. Right now, you can't move your car. You don't have other people to plan with. Do everything else in order to move. You say there are no finances to move. Start packing your boxes in excitement in each moment.
just like if I have a date, like I'm kind of lazy, but when I have a date, when I'm motivated for something, it seems like I move, and somebody told me I might be moving soon. That's the first thing they said. I didn't even ask a question because a lot of times I just like to ask, what do you have a general reading for me, rather than to ask a question that you're going to ask me back. What do I see for it? What do I see? You understand?
Yes, we understand very well what you mean.
Yeah. Yes. So, but if I get excited and just think, well, I'm going to be moving, it's kind of like, you get married on a certain date, and all of a sudden I have, the world of enthusiasm, and I'm packing up, and I guess I should just start, because I think, oh, what am I going to get out of here? Once I get the date, and, I'll start moving. But you say, which is a really good thing, is to create your own energy and just, I'm going to be moving really soon, and, get really enthused and start, packing and, or somewhat. There's a lot of clutter I think I should throw away before I do move, so that's another issue.
Yes.
But I've actually moved out of my house a couple of years ago, so I've lived in like about 6 different places. I lived here in like a year and a half. And I used to have storage, so I have all my storage stuff here, and it's really a small house. I really don't have that much anymore. And so, if I get really enthused and just start, packing what I need or...
Wonderful, Nathaniel. We would love to have a lot more time, but we are very close to the end of the show.
Okay,
so let's
have a
see
nice
if
day.
Metatron
Thanks a lot. Thanks for all your
Okay.
help. I'll do it myself. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Bye.
We wish to share with all of you very quickly, when you plant a new energy, when you desire opening a new energetic field, such as moving or such as getting a new job, what we suggest is step forward into that. If you're moving and you're not sure when, you don't know where, pack your bags, pack your boxes. When you're moving to your new job, set up all things that would need and remove all of the non-essential energy. This man said that there is clutter that is everywhere. If you don't need to bring the old energy with you into a new place. Remove that old energy. Set forward your new step towards the center. Thank you, Victoria, for sharing your own expression and desire, for moving into that center with us.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Metatron. This feels so short that I wish we had one more hour so that we can, ask so many questions. But thank you so much for all that you are doing and how you are helping our beautiful planet Earth.
And thank you also for stepping into that center and helping your planet Earth.
Okay, so we're going to complete this process, and I would like to ask Rob to come back and be with us if that's possible.
Yeah, I'm already here. How'd everything go?
Oh, it was great. I just wish I had one more hour because it was very interesting and very exciting, and I have like 10 more questions that I want to ask, but, and we have also listeners that would like to ask questions, but, I have to teach today, so I normally keep the show to an hour, and I just want to say thank you again. Thank you for doing this and making this available. It is very, very interesting how different is the energy from Treb to Iridis and now to Metatron is completely different, and I don't know if you were aware of all the information you were bringing, but I did ask that question about what is your relationship with Metatron and what is the relationship between Metatron and Treb and Aridip. Are you aware of what you shared with us?
No, I'm kind of off in my own place. Metatron is different every time I connect to him. I've only connected to him a few times, so each time I'm building that connection, I experience something different. What was shared, if you have the time? I guess I could listen to it.
You can, of course. So it seems that Archangel Metatron's work is with our planet Earth, with humankind. So there is not the same connection with Aridis and with Treb. So it's something different. Metatron really much appreciates what Treb and Aridis are doing, but it's not that relationship between them, but it is the relationship with you, so between you and Metatron. So the idea is that, so it's totally different. I love it. So the idea is that you both were related or were working together or have a life together in the past when he was Enoch.
Really?
Yes! Isn't that amazing?
Yes, I am definitely interested now. I'm listening back to Aquina's giving me feedback too while you're giving me feedback. I've got to listen to this thing.
Oh my goodness. This is very exciting. Very exciting. Yeah. So happy that
definitely. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I'm very excited about this information, and I don't know, maybe you can explore it more in depth with Metatron.
Yeah, there's definitely more questions now to ask. I'm very excited to see this.
Yes. Well, if you have somebody's knocking my door now. Well, if you have more information, let me know, because I would love to know more about this. I think it's very, very beautiful, and I can wait to know all about it.
I am ready to.
Somebody's
Thank you so much,
door.
Victoria.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is so beautiful, and I look forward to, continue knowing about your story. Please keep us updated. I know that you always share on Facebook and on YouTube. And once again, your website is etwhisperer.com. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Rob. Thank you so much.
Thanks again, and happy 1 year.
Yes, I have to celebrate. Okay, so this was our show for today. And once again, if you are in Los Angeles, remember, not only we have the classes in my center, which are mostly every weekend. And today we have shamanic workshop. Tomorrow we have crystal healing and psychic development. And as you heard, Rob is going to have a beautiful 2-day workshop event. This is going to be a lot of channelers bringing so much love, information, and raising our frequency. So all the information for this will be at etwhisperer.com, and for my classes will be at reikiwellbeing.org. Okay, and since I'm going to be a little bit on vacation, I'm still planning, maybe I will do some replays, as I was saying. So all the information will be in victoriavives.com/radio, and this will be in a couple of days. So you can check there. And I just wish that you have a beautiful, beautiful Saturday, that you enjoy with your friends or your family, or maybe on your own to create some space for self. And know that I love you. I will leave you with the announcements. Bye. Okay, and now, as you know, this is a network. It's the Enlightenment Evolution Network. So I'm going to just share with you the different shows that we have. On Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, we have Heart to Heart Talk Radio with Daniel Scranton. On Tuesday at 12 noon Pacific time, we have Soulful Preneur with Rachel Archelaus and Megan Crandall-Meyer. On Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, we have the Enlightenment Evolution Hour with Rob Gauthier, the creator of the Enlightenment Evolution Network. On Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, we have Consciousness Evolution Hour with Philip Malika. On Fridays at 6 p.m. Pacific time, Pierre's Experience with Kalina Angel. On Saturdays, like today, at 10 a.m. Pacific time, is Earth Sky People Radio with yours truly, Victoria Vives Khuong. On Sundays at 11 a.m. Pacific time, About Oneness with Karen Newman. And finally, Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, we will have very soon the Resonance Intention with Soul and Neil Gaur. Okay, bye for now.
You are listening to the Enlightenment Evolution Network. Welcome to Earth Sky People Radio. Living in harmony with Mother Earth and awakening to an intergalactic society. With your host, Victoria Vives, founder of Reiki Wellbeing and co-founder of the Earth Sky People Movement.